going again. If you have a question, please give it to Jack now. It's your last chance to turn in your questions. Anyone have a question for Jack before we get started? Okay. So before we get going again, just a couple housekeeping items. First of all, we want to make sure and acknowledge our current elected officials in the room. And there's so many people in here, I don't want to miss anyone. So if you're a current elected official with the city, the county, etc., please stand so we can acknowledge you. There you go. Okay, next thing we're going to do, we are going to have Robert explain how the timer is going to work for the candidates. Thank you, Robert, for handling the timer. Tough job.
You betcha. Okay, for the candidates with the questions, each candidate will have a 2-minute for an opening statement, and after the question phase, they'll have an additional 1 minute for a closing statement. There'll be a limit of 5 questions per race. Questions directed to a specific candidate will have 1 minute response, and candidates in the same race will have one 30-second rebuttal. So whenever your time starts, it'll be on green. When you hit the 30-second mark, it'll be yellow. When you're done, red, buzz. For the 30-second rebuttal, we'll start out on yellow. And when you hit 30 seconds, we'll buzz you. Questions directed to multiple candidates in the same race will have a 1 minute response each with no rebuttals. Again, green, yellow for 30 seconds, red, buzz. Done. That's it. How's that sound? Good?
Thank you. The next race we're going to move on to, these two are ahead of schedule here. I like that. We're going to start with the Aransas County Chair candidate. So this is your GOP chair position. And our first opening statement is going to come from Mary Lee Winkelstein.
Okay, is that close? Because I'm not good at this. First of all, isn't it a great night to be a Republican? Yay! And American, for sure American. I'm Mary Lee Winkelstein. I'm running for Aransas County Party Chair, Republican Chair. I'm born and raised in South Texas. I have multiple master's degrees. I've run several businesses, and I know how to work with people and get the job done. First off, I am a Republican, as you are. There's Jacob, Patty, we're all in the same boat. And we know that we cannot keep our individual rights and the way of life that we have now if we don't work for it. Well, I have worked for it, and I know you have too. But I've worked in campaigns all over the state and across the country too. I was one of Michael Cloud's first block walkers. Ted Cruz knows me. The governor knows me because I've worked and I wanted to, and I will no matter what. Ken Paxton called 2 years ago, and some of you have heard this story. He wanted to get more conservative judges on the Criminal Court of Appeals, and he said, Mary Lee, we have 10 days to get these petitions signed all over the state. So we went crazy and we did it. We got it. We got them on the ballot, and then we got them elected. And what I want to do, so I have a history of that, and I love doing it. What I want to do in Aransas County, I want to unify this party. I want to get qualified Republican candidates elected. I want to get our voters engaged in a big way, bigly, as Trump says, right? And I'm asking you to join me There are so many things we can do, and we should do. I ask for your vote. Thank you.
Next, we're going to hear from Katie Jackson.
Fellow Aransas County Republicans and other county Republicans that are in the audience, good evening. My name is Katie Jackson, and I am asking for your vote to re-elect me as the Aransas County Republican Party Chair. As a common-sense conservative, I believe in simple solutions in a complex world, and I've lived that through action. I earned my bachelor's in physics from Drake University, then I served 26 years in the United States Navy, retiring as a senior chief, while completing my master's in organizational management from the University of Phoenix. I broke barriers. I was the first enlisted woman on board USS Frank Cable to qualify command and control watch officer. I then turned around in 2008 and was the first female enlisted person to qualify junior officer of the deck underway on the USS Abraham Lincoln while we were deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan. I helped the USS George Washington aircraft carrier maintenance availability on time and under budget, a first in carrier history. For 15 years as a senior non-commissioned officer, my mindset was mission first, people always. Since retiring in 2016, I've commanded the VFW Post 3904 for 5 years, leading to a new property, raising over $200,000 for our hall, and earning all state and all American honors in 2024. I've driven over 100 dogs to no-kill rescues through Another Chance Rescue, usually on my own dime. I built a plant database that secured $12,000 to reimburse for damaged products after Hurricane Harvey while I was a master gardener. As your county chair, I've applied that same discipline, attending state pre-convention meetings to update RPT rules, holding 12 voter registration drives, registering over 100 new Republicans, and helping over 1,000 voters update their information. I've provided crucial election support, followed legislative sessions, attended 9 state Republican committee meetings, and I humbly ask for your vote.
Thank you all. Technical difficulties, 1 second. There it goes. Now it's back. Now it's not.
That's why I had to turn mine down. Because it was like, trade here.
Okay, ma'am?
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, the light's not green. Okay, we're gonna move on to the question and answer part of the forum. This first question is for both of our candidates, and they're gonna be asked, when the question is for both candidates, it's gonna be done by ballot order. So Mary Lee is gonna answer this first. Mary Lee, what are the duties of the county chair during a primary election? What are the duties of the county chair during a primary election?
Well, no, maybe it doesn't. Does this work? No. Doesn't work. Well, I don't know all of those answers because I'm not the county chair yet. However, I know you have to get judges and poll watchers, and you have to have them trained because my husband and I work every election. We love doing it. So I'll have to find out more about that, and I look forward to it. And believe me, I hope you all call me to volunteer because I'll be calling you too.
Could you repeat the question, please?
What are the duties of the county chair during a primary election?
The duties of the county chair during the primary elections is to start accepting precinct chair ballots in September. In November, we start accepting countywide filings. Once those are secured and over in the beginning of December, I make sure they're all filed, I make sure I have all the fees, I make sure everybody gets on the ballot. And then, while I'm doing that, I'm also getting my election judges in order, making sure they have their people for election day. I also have to give several lists on ballots, ballot propositions. I have to proof the ballots. And then it's January. There's a lot that goes on with doing the primary. My biggest one will be, and always has been, is I will be at the election administration office ensuring election integrity to the best of my ability during all of early voting and regular voting.
Thank you. The next question is for Mary Lee. Mary Lee will be able to respond, and then Katie will have a 30-second rebuttal. Mary Lee, you stated that you were doing some county chair duties at a previous forum. Can you elaborate on which duties you are performing?
Yes, I always call voters. I think we need to organize and take that voter list. There are voters right now in suspense, and they have no idea they're in suspense. And guess what? They show up at the election poll, and they're not happy. We don't want that. We want our voters to be happy. We want them to keep coming back. We want them to tell their neighbors to vote. This is a big deal. We want to change all of that. Did I leave out anything else? I think that's it. When you're talking to people and telling them what we all feel about our country and about how important it is that we all show up, that there's no one else that's going to take this lead. We need to be doing that every day and making phone calls, and then I call them back. I have a list. I call them, and I call them back and say, oh, you didn't come to vote. Are you coming tomorrow? Oh, anyway.
I have a 30-second rebuttal.
Yes.
The job of the county chair is to make sure everybody is actively engaged so that they can make sure their voter registration is up to date. They know where to vote, they know how to vote, they've seen a sample ballot. The county chair is in charge of 7 other people. Between the 8 of us, it's up to all of us to contact our respective voters. I drive the bus. That's what I do as the county chair, is I drive the bus. I help when I have to, but I drive the bus.
Thank you. Katie, you might as well hold the mic. The next question is for you.
Okay.
Ms. Jackson, you have been the Republican chair for the past 2 years. What have you done to carry out responsibilities in fundraising, increasing voter turnout, supporting Republican candidates, etc.?
For the November 2024 election, we had a very robust get out the vote effort. We got at least 100 people registered to vote, if not more. We helped thousands of people update their information, bring them out of suspense. We made sure that they had the information they needed. They had access to sample ballots. They knew they could take those sample ballots in and vote with them. We made sure, one of the things we did this last election in the 2024 general was I was able to get 5,000 postcards. We hand addressed them and hand mailed them out to a lot of people in the county. It has to be creative. I have to get your attention. And that's what I do to get out the vote.
Thank you. Mary Lee, you have 30 seconds to respond.
Well, actually, we're staying positive. We didn't get the voters out of suspense. We didn't work that list. I had a group ready to do that in June and was told to stand down, and we didn't have it done. So they did come in, and when they came in and said, I'm ready to vote, they bam, you're not going to be able to vote, you're in suspense. That's a problem. We could have taken care of it.
Thank you.
10,000 in suspense, okay?
Okay.
22%.
Okay. Next, the next question is for Mary Lee. In 2024, you joined the South Texas Alliance of Republicans, an organization that actively supported candidates against conservative Congressman Michael Cloud, and you donated $400. You listed your occupation as VP of the Republican Club after you are no longer VP. Why?
Well, that's not true. What is true is I went to a STAR meeting. They're Republicans, did you know that? And our representative, Todd Hunter, anybody heard of Todd Hunter? His son was running for mayor. Todd asked my husband and I to come, and we donated $400 for Michael Hunter's campaign. So that's what we did. And it was also a fundraiser for animals. So I'm an animal lover. I know a lot of you are too. So that's what we did. And I was former VP getting the program in. I thought I did a pretty good job. I brought our committee woman from Texas. You have one committee man, one committee woman. The only person here that's ever done that was me. So don't want to even say it like that. I need to say it straight.
Could you state it again, please?
In 2024, you joined the South Texas Alliance of Republicans, an organization that actively supported candidates against our conservative Congressman Michael Cloud, and you donated $400. You listed your occupation as VP of the Republican Club after you were no longer VP. Why?
First of all, that information is correct. It's public record. I can point you straight to it. I don't care who people support in general, but an organization that is against one of the most conservative House representatives we have in the nation and is ours, or at least 20% of ours now, I would never go against anything or even have the shadow of anything against Michael Cloud.
The next question is for Katie. Katie, your biography states, has you think paper pushers are idiots? Please explain.
Show of hands, how many veterans? Okay. When I entered the Navy, I had a degree already. I could have come in as an officer, and I decided not to. I decided to come in, enlisted, and learn about electronics and how to fix them. My very first XO, who was a female, she was fabulous, asked me why I didn't come in as an officer. And I said I wanted to use these. And she said, what's the answer you're not telling me? You know, she's the XO, I gotta say. I said, I've paper pushed, anybody can do that. And she said, you're right. That's where that comes from.
Mary Lee?
I don't know much about this. I've read it. But you know what? I don't care. I am here to unite this group. And if I'm elected, Katie Jackson's the first person I'm going to call to help. We're in here together. We're not fighting Democrats in here. And I am very optimistic about our county and what we can do, and we will do it. We'll do it together. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mary Lee and Katie. Next, we're going to move on to the next group of candidates. We're going to put.
They get their 1 minute,
They get a
sorry.
1 minute.
Oh,
Forgot.
I apologize. They get a 1 minute closing statement. I jumped the gun there. Okay.
You can't find good help.
I know, I'm telling you. It's free help.
Yes, you
Okay.
get what I pay for.
county chair candidates are going to give their closing statements, and we'll start with Mary Lou.
Okay, let's have some fun. Robert, make that a real ugly note when you're finished. Okay, a couple of nights ago, I got to meet Laura Trump, and so I thought I'm gonna get some information. So I said, what strategies can we use? And I said, I promise you, we're gonna be doing this here. And so she told me, and I'll share that with you in a little bit. And she said this, and she's right. We have to agree this time will be looked back on in years as the most consequential time in not just our county, in our country, in the world. President Trump, Marco Rubio, J.D. Vance, they're working unbelievable hours. So they're doing their stuff, and guess what we are? We're here in Aransas County, but every county in the United States has to show up. We have to get our voters out, and God bless you, I beg you, each one of you, when you go out, call people, tell your plumber, we need to get out to vote. We can't lose the midterms. So I invite you to vote for me and join me in the work. Very good.
Thank you all for being here tonight. Your energy and commitment mean everything. I served in the Navy fighting foreign enemies to defend our freedom. Now in retirement, I've poured my heart into Aransas County, registering over 100 new voters, streamlining primaries with Navy discipline, building alliances for election integrity, and championing the downtown tourist revitalizing our harbor, creating jobs, fixing floods, and adding boardwalks and public spaces without raising taxes. But our Aransas County Republican Party is under attack from leftist influencers aiming to infiltrate, divide, and destroy what we've built. The unified party that elected Trump, supports veterans, and drives redevelopment for Rockport. We can't let that happen. This party needs a battle-tested sailor like me at the helm, proven and committed to real Republicans who cherish Aransas County, our conservative values, and our future. I'm Katie Jackson, Navy veteran, proven leader, common sense conservative. Vote for experience and heart on March 3rd. Together, we'll keep Aransas County red, strong, and thriving. I ask you for your vote. Thank you all very much.
Yes. Thank you. Next, we're going to move on to the remaining candidates, and we're going to put name cards out where you will be seated. The remaining races will all be up here at the same time. So the next group of candidates is going to be our county treasurer candidates, county commissioner precinct 2 candidates, and county judge candidates. If you want to go ahead and make your way up here and sit in your assigned seat. Okay, so each candidate will have 2 minutes for their opening statement, as a reminder for myself. And after the question phase, an additional 1 minute for a closing statement. We're going to start with the county treasurer race. And the first to speak will be Jamie Murphy.
Thank you. Good evening. My husband and I chose Aransas County for the most important reason there is: family. My parents live right here in Rockport. We moved here because we wanted our son Dylan to grow up experiencing life with his grandparents every single day. We aren't just here for a career, we're here because this is where our family's heart is. I'm a neighbor, a taxpayer, and a mother who is deeply invested in the future of the community that my parents and my son all call home. Long before I earned my degree in biomedical science from Texas A&M Corpus Christi, I spent over a decade at JP Chase. I learned that true professionalism means having a discipline to get the numbers right every single time. I brought that banking standard accuracy back to the treasurer's office because I believe you deserve a professional who treats your tax dollars with the same care they use to protect their own family's future. While serving as your chief deputy treasurer, I saw a system that was struggling to keep up, reliant on copies of paper and manual backlogs that left millions of dollars in limbo. I consistently brought forward banking level solutions to fortify the office and ensure our money was earning interest for the taxpayer, not sitting in a pile of paperwork. I brought solutions forward because I wanted to do what was right. When they were rejected, I realized I couldn't change a broken system from behind a desk. I chose to stand on the side of truth and my heart at peace because I refused to be a part of a process that wasn't 100% honest. I committed then to running for this office because the only way to bring real stewardship to Aransas County is from the top down. I'm excited to see a lot of familiar faces in here tonight, and I look forward to speaking with you more.
Next, we have Lisa Balzer.
Good evening. I'm Lisa Balser, your current Chief Deputy Treasurer, and I'm running for Aransas County Treasurer. Tonight, I'm asking for your vote and proof why experience matters. The Treasurer's Office is about discipline, integrity, and consistency. In addition to day-to-day work, the office is responsible for monthly, quarterly, and annual reporting to the state. These reports must be accurate and filed on time. When they are not, penalties are assessed, and that results in wasted county funds. When choosing a treasurer, the question is not just who wants the job, it's who has proven experience to do it well. I bring over 35 years experience in government accounting, financial management. That experience includes work as a residential commercial property accountant with portfolios exceeding over $100 million. Serving as a construction accountant for government facilities such as veterans hospitals and military bases, and overseeing payroll processing. Most importantly, the people of Aransas County have already experienced my work. As your current Chief Deputy Treasurer, I help accurately account for and safeguard the county's money every single day. My experience is not theoretical, it's hand-on, ongoing, and visible. Voters also have experience with my opponent, and when you compare the records, the difference becomes clear. So as you consider your vote, ask yourself who has demonstrated discipline, accuracy, and proven experience in this office. I would be honored to earn your support, and I humbly ask for your vote. Again, Lisa Balser for Aransas County Treasurer.
Okay, we have two questions for these candidates, and the first question is directed to Jamie Murphy. On your social media platforms, you mentioned that you were the former Chief Deputy Treasurer. Why did you relinquish the position?
Yes, I was the previous Chief Deputy Treasurer, and I stepped away from that position for reasons that I did state in my opening. There were problems that I saw in the office that I didn't have a say-so over or control over. I could clearly see where fixes needed to be made, updating our technology, teaching our staff cross-training, and with the office lacking that, I stepped aside to run as county treasurer, knowing that I could come back stronger and do better for everybody.
Thank you. Lisa, you have 30 seconds response.
I am your current Chief Deputy Treasurer because she stepped down after making errors and mistakes. Our office has a streamlined process. Yes, there's paper, but we have streamlined it, and there is checks and balances and double checks. Everything goes through everybody's hands to double check.
Thank you. The next question is for Lisa. The county was cited for serious material weaknesses in 2023 and 2024 audits for lack of control over cash and misuse of restricted federal grant funds. Please explain why.
I am your current Chief Deputy Treasurer. I started the position in 2024. I was not aware of those audits. However, we are under such strict guidelines from legislature that I can't fathom that that question is valid.
Thank you. You have 30-second response.
The audits that are done in the treasurer's office, both internally and externally, are open records, so anybody can request them if you'd like. This information is accurate. Funds were used that were not allotted for their use. And so in the audit, the treasurer's office was supposed to replenish those funds that were used inappropriately.
Thank you. Okay, that's all the questions for the county treasurer candidates. We will start with Jamie Murphy with your closing statement.
I am running to bring back an office that respects its employees and protects every penny for the taxpayer. We don't need more politics in the treasurer's office. We need a steady hand and a professional standard. You deserve a treasurer who has the courage to put the taxpayers first and the experience to get the job done right the first time. I am running to ensure that our books are secure, our employees are respected, and our future is protected. I am Jamie Murphy, and I would be honored to earn your vote and serve as your next county treasurer. Thank you.
Lisa, you have 1 minute for your closing statement.
Again, when choosing a treasurer, the question is not just who wants the job, it's who has proven experience to do it well. If you want a treasurer who is detail-oriented, dedicated, and already doing the job responsibly, I would be honored to earn your vote. I care deeply about the future of Aransas County, and that's why I'm involved in the community, including my work with the Rockport-Fulton Education Foundation, supporting a vision where every student is prepared for life after high school. I work together with your treasurer to set up checks and balances to eliminate errors and streamline office processes. A vote for Lisa Balser is a vote for a professional accountant. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we're going to move on to our County Commissioner Precinct 2 candidates. We're going to start with their opening statements, and we're going to begin with Keith Barrett.
Thank you. I know we're kind of the tail end of the night show, but my name is Keith Barrett, and I'm running for County Commissioner, Precinct 2. I'm also a graduate of Rockport-Fulton High. And to kind of show my age, I have lived continuously in Precinct 2 for the last 40 years. So to know that precinct top to bottom, I don't think there's anyone that could match that. I will say I want to bring an experience of fiscal conservative values. Most of y'all have heard me speak to these groups many times, generally about things that we've built or things that needed to be constructed. I was instrumental in trying to rebuild after Hurricane Harvey, capturing grants and working those projects through to completion, as we are in this very building that we're setting in tonight. I have a history of getting things done under budget, on time, no excuses. That's what Aransas County needs. That's what I want to bring to Precinct 2. I volunteered. I've been a member of the chamber until I timed out after 8 or 10 years. I've worked with Pathways and all the other groups. This is my community. I want to be able to serve you as Precinct 2 County Commissioner. I think I bring experience, especially after what we went through in our disaster. I was a member of the emergency management team, trying to get our community cleaned up and back into its current condition. But in saying that, my opponents are good guys. Pee-wee, I've known my entire life, lifelong friends. I've just met Scott. I think all of us have a want to serve, but what I bring is a little different. I bring experience. Thank you.
Next candidate is Abel Pee-wee Solis.
Hello, how you doing? Like you said, my name is Abel Pee-wee Solis. I'm a longtime resident, and sorry, Keith, I've been here longer than you. I've been here 63 years in the same county and the same precinct for 63 years. And I'm retired from the Texas Department of Transportation for 28 years. I'm also a longtime volunteer. I volunteer for the Little League Baseball. Been doing that for 30 plus years. And I dedicate every success to Aransas County. I lived here, worked here. I left and went to Referral County and come back, and now I want to serve the residents here. In my 20 years of working for the transportation, I was involved with doing budgeting for Referral County. I came back to help Aransas County and Goliad County get back on their feet for several months to keep their budget going and keep their employees working. Then I went back to my office, and at my office I was also an inspector on roads, bridges, and drainage, and I did contract inspection, and I was also a project manager for all the contracts. And I kept all my contracts under budget, even though we had a 10% that we can put out there, but we kept them under budget, on time, and we deliver our work, perfect, the way the residents of the state want to drive their roads. I'm also a first responder. I respond for all accidents, hurricanes, tornadoes, anything that needs to be out there 24/7. And I was involved in recovery, and I'm also a safety man with TxDOT, and I was also inspection on highways across the state of Texas, and I was involved in preventive maintenance on equipment to make sure our equipments were run and running great, where we can make sure our vehicles were functioning. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we're going to hear from candidate Scott Mapes.
Hello, Aransas County. I am so proud to be in this campaign because I feel with God, country, Texans, and our fellow Aransas Countyans, we can make a difference here. I would love to see that our county officials that are elected have a better voice directly to the community so everybody can have an opinion and get feedback on what is happening in our county. I'm worried about the development that we have south of us, that if we don't have a master plan of where the county wants to go to in the future, it may take us in the wrong direction with the housing, the development that's going to be coming. It's going to come our way whether we like it or not, because the oil industry is just going to bring it here. It's going to come from Houston and it's going to come here. If we could have a master plan, I don't care if it's a 2-year plan, a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, but we can always review that plan, have open comments on it, and change that whenever we want to, but it's a guideline to go where we want to go. And we all know plans change and we have to flip the page a little bit. Our community is so small that we can't afford the infrastructure or support the infrastructure of restaurants or anything else. If we focus on expanding our tourism and bringing in residents that benefit our community and help increase that tax base with housing and everything, I think it would be a good plan to move forward and take on those advantages to support Aransas County. Thank you very much.
Okay, we're going to move on to the question phase. And the first question for our Precinct 2 candidates is directed to Keith Barrett. Keith, how do you feel your previous experience will help you as County Commissioner for Precinct 2 if elected?
I think in some ways experience is everything. You don't know what you don't know. I won't have a learning curve going in. I'm very familiar with all the county departments, all the county department heads, all the elected officials, all the state elected officials. I've worked with each and every one of them, from Michael Cloud's office, to Lois Corcos's office, to Don Buckingham, the land commissioner's office. All of those things we needed, and those relationships we needed to be able to recover from the hurricane. You can't just slip somebody in and think they can recover and make those relationships overnight. I think I can bring that to the Commissioner's Court. I think I can bring that experience on budgeting and just project management. Something that, as you've read the paper, you saw that we've had many problems with. And I think I can bring that respect. Thank you.
Okay. The other candidates will have 30 seconds to respond, starting with Abel Pee Wee Solis.
Well, my experience with the state of Texas, I had a lot of, like Keith and then we're going to say about project management. I work with the state a lot with grants that we had to do, well, ours are federal grants, and we had to, what we had to do with Eagle's shelf when he came in up the Karns City with oil, and we had to deal with all of them to get all the money we need to fix all of our roads out there in Karns County and up north. So when we were out there, like I was saying, we could.
Thank you. Scott?
I've been a businessman for 20 years in this town, and I can manage $10 just as I can $100 million. It doesn't really matter. We have people to do that and do it. Everybody's managed their money to pay their bills. I have 20,000 residents in Aransas County that can check me and use their guidance to make the experience there. We have 20,000 experienced people here in Aransas County. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is directed to all candidates, and you will have 1 minute to respond. What are your plans to make county government more responsive and convenient to the public, especially in Precinct 2? We'll start with Keith.
I think having more meetings like this, public outreach, so the citizens can reach out and let the elected officials know what their issues are. Precinct 2 is a little tough precinct. It's a working class precinct where a lot of people are cooking supper and getting their kids ready for school. But we have to be able to reach out, we have to be able to listen to their needs and then work accordingly to fulfill those needs.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think what we need to do is probably reach out to more people, not just on the internet or through the paper, but maybe mail stuff out to them. They don't know what we need in our Precinct 2, and try to get everything organized where we get more meetings and get people together and talk about the situation we got in Precinct 2. And I'm not just working for Precinct 2, I'm working for the Aransas County. So that's what my goal is, try to get this county all together.
Thank you.
Precinct 2 is a working man's area and a retired person's area. We have vast people that contribute so much to Precinct 2, but one issue that we have that is above most of all in Precinct 2 is we have donut holes that are surrounded by the city. The Sheriff's Department and the city police need to work together better to create the crime that's walking up and down our streets, whether it's in a backpack, we've all seen it. Those are the issues that need to be handled in Precinct 2 first, and then we can go on to making everybody better. But the community in Precinct 2, the neighborhood, watches themselves and they take care of each other. So you got your little groups of people that protect each other and they know who their neighbors are in Precinct 2. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is again to all candidates. What is the most important thing to do as commissioner to save money or improve services? We'll start with Keith.
Well, just like in DC, I think we can all look at waste, spending. I think we have to be frugal in what we do. When I was the director at the district, I was one of the only groups that never raised your taxes in over 16 years, not one penny. That means we were physically conservative. I think we have to look at every dollar we spend and make sure it's being spent wisely. I think where we can cut, but I still think we have to be smart in how we spend because costs, as we all know, are continuing to rise. So if we don't get a handle on that, it's going to continue to get away from us. So controlling our spending is, I believe, is a must.
I think we can first look at the equipment that we have over there at the road and bridge and the material. I think that's probably where they spend a lot of our money at, trying to fix our roads and equipment breaking down and trying to get all those equipment running good. And the audit people, they do a good job for us to make sure we keep our money straight and keep us in balance. And I think that's very important. I know in Precinct 2, everything they have done for us is pretty good. I think Precinct 2's the budget should be good with the roads and the drainage and all that. Thank you.
I believe every department should look internally at themselves of what they're spending and wasting their money on. Each department should be able to cut that spending by at least 10%. Every household has to do that to be able to manage their money, to be able to plan for the future and have a safe fund for the days that we don't have the money. In the departments that have an extreme overhead where that is not possible, they need to look at themselves and manage their time to make their money more efficient for the county. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is directed to Keith Barrett. Keith, if elected, would you support the downtown TERS and Rockport Marina Village, and why?
Well, I believe those things have been voted on many times in our community already. I guess I'll know more about that if things change and I'm sitting on the court. I was instrumental in the land split. I spoke before the school land board in Austin to allow that land split to even happen, to make that development even possible. So I am interested. I think that is the next portion of our community that is ripe for development. But yes, I am for that if all the things line up. But the city has voted on it, the county's voted on it already. So once that comes back before court, I will have to consider the options.
Well, I don't know very much about that. This is the first time I heard about that, but if it just comes to the court, if I do get elected, I would look at everything and see the possibilities, how much money we're gonna generate and how we can get it without costing the county too much money. And if it's passable and we can afford it, then I'll have to look at that time if it's a yes or a no. Thank you.
tourism is a sensitive issue. I'm not a big fan of them because generally they were set up wrong or they were mismanaged. If it is set up correctly, it can benefit the county. But it has to be done in the beginning of the process, so it's not lost and come back and bite us. TERS is just, it's a great tool to get development done, but it also is a little evil. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the last question is for all candidates. And we're gonna start with Abel Solis. Abel, what will you do that the current court has not done? What the current court has not done?
Well, I think the court has done a pretty good job. Since I've been going to all those meetings, I hear a lot and I learn a lot of what's going on out there. And really ain't much that we can change. It's just what we need to do is just stay together and work together. Like I say, everybody gets just one vote. And out of that one vote, we have to work together to make sure that we're voting for the right thing that will help the county out. And not just one precinct, but the whole county. Thank you.
Thank you. Keith will have the next.
Repeat that question.
Or I apologize. Scott will be next. Sorry, Keith.
Oh.
I'm mixing it up. You want me to repeat that, Scott?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
The county does a really decent job of the task that they have at hand. If it was just Aransas County, it would be better. But we have to deal with the city, which is another incorporated area. Those two areas need to work better together so it can benefit the whole county as a whole, Rockport, Fulton, Lamar, Holiday Beach. If we all work together, it'll make things better for the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Want me to repeat that? What will you do that the current court has not done?
Well, I think I will be attentive to the citizens of Aransas County. I'm going to bring some experience that has now been lost. At the time of this election, we'll only have one sitting county commissioner that was on the commission at the time of the hurricane. So I want to be able to bring some experience on things that we did right, things that we did wrong. Make sure we don't repeat some of the same mistakes of the past. I think I can bring that to the court, as well as just a level-headedness that I think I can get along with most people in this community and have for a long time. And I think people continue to reach out to me. And I think that will continue even if I'm sitting as a commissioner on the court.
Thank you. That's all the questions we have for the County Commissioner Precinct 2 candidates. We'll start thank you. They each get 1 minute for a closing statement, starting with Keith Barrett.
Oh, in closing, I would like to say thank you for everyone attending. You probably had a lot better things to do tonight than come and listen to us, but I would like to ask you for your vote. If you do not live in Precinct 2, but you know someone who does, talk up, let them know what you heard here tonight. It may be the person that changes your tire, mows your grass, or sits next to you at church on Sunday. Let them know what you heard at this forum. Let them know there's a candidate that's going to support them. And I would ask for your vote for County Commissioner Precinct 2.
Thank you.
In closing, I say thank you for everybody who showed up. Appreciate it for coming out here. I know it's a Thursday night. I'll probably have better things to do, like watching TV or watching some good old movies. But at the same time, I like to have your support. And if you're like everybody says, if you're in Precinct 2, I appreciate your vote. If you're not, tell a friend, tell a family member what you heard and who we are, and pick the best guy for your job. Don't just go out there and just pick anybody you want. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Thank you.
One thing that I have done for Precinct 2, in 2017, the city was annexing 4 areas, A through D. I took the city's paperwork for annexation D. I measured every street, counted every house, and went to city council and spoke up against that. And I am proud to say that annexation D, area D, was the only area in 2017 that wasn't annexed by the city. That's what I'll continue to do as a county commissioner, is to stand up when the people need it and ask questions where they need to be asked. Thank you.
Okay, thank you to our County Commissioner Precinct 2 candidates. We're now going to move on to our Aransas County Judge candidates. And we are going to start with opening statements, beginning with Russell Cole.
Good evening. Thank y'all for being here for such an important election. My name's Russell Cole, and I'm running to be your next county judge. A little bit about myself. I'm a Rockport Fulton graduate, served my country in the United States Navy, honorably discharged, got out, had a very, very successful career with a company out of Corpus called Berry Bay Contracting, where I started as a laborer and worked up to a project manager. As a project manager, I was over projects. I think the biggest one I did was 15 million. But you talk about budgeting and finishing on time. That was important. I'm going to bring that experience to the county. Why I'm running? I'm running because Aransas County deserves clear direction, steady leadership, accountability, transparency, and a team that works together. I want to talk a little bit about accountability and transparency. 2024, under Ray Garza's watch, the taxes went up 23.2%. 2025, 9.8%. 2026, 9.15%. That's not conservative. That's reckless. And I don't know if anybody's heard this, but did y'all know that the Aransas County credit rating was downgraded 3 months ago? And I'm going to tell you what the S&P had to say. The downgrade reflects a multi-year trend of deficits, partially driven by capital expenditures, but mostly by what we view as imbalanced operations, which resulted in sustained draws on reserves to levels that no longer comparable with those of AA peers. The negative outlook reflects our view of one in 3 chances.
You're gonna be the hated guy in the room all the time, right?
Next, we're going to hear from Ray Garza.
All right, good evening. From the very beginning, my goal was simple. Let's get back to the basics and focus on what really matters. And that's being responsible with your tax dollars, fixing roads and drainage, supporting the people who keep us safe, and protecting property and our natural resources. Those weren't campaign lines, those were a roadmap. And today I can say that these promises were kept. We started fiscal discipline through careful budgeting and tough decisions. We have reduced the county deficit. It was pretty big, sitting at $3 million. We've also increased the homestead exemption, providing real tax relief to you guys, homeowners. On roads and infrastructure, we focus on results. We finished major streets and drainage projects that have been needed for years. By working with the Council of Governments, we secured a $10.2 million grant for projects, with $2.2 million going directly to the town of Fulton. Public safety was also a priority. We increased funding to our volunteer fire departments and EMS, and we added funding to the Sheriff's Department to put more deputies on the road. We took meaningful steps to address flooding and protect water. Through a grant, we are updating the Aransas County Master Drainage Plan. We also restructured the Stormwater Management Technical Committee into a multi-jurisdictional group of experts, taking politics out of the conversation. We work to protect what makes Aransas County special, and that is preserving our natural environment. We secured the purchase of the Bailey Ranch through a GLO grant, and we are committed to maintaining the Cedar Bayou. These efforts protect both our environment and our economy. Throughout my time in office, I focused on transparency, sound judgment, and steady leadership. We opened the doors, brought conversations into the light, and changed the culture of how our county government operates. And we don't want to go back to the way it was. These accomplishments all come with that simple philosophy that county government should be grounded, practical, and focused on the basics that matter to everyday people, that matter to you guys. I ask for your vote to re-elect me. Thank you.
Okay, the first question is for candidate Ray Garza. How do you feel about the financial state of our county, and what are you doing to make it better?
I feel very positive about our financial state of the county. When I took office, we were working on multi-year deficits. It's hard to recover from that. We have had to raise taxes. 4 years ago at the Women's Club, when we had a forum, someone asked me if I'm going to reduce taxes, and I told you straight up, I was honest with you. How can you reduce taxes with a multi-year deficit? Taxes were going up. But I've also increased the homestead exemption to give y'all some relief. I'm very good about, or very positive about our financial outlook. One more time.
I think we're in hell of a shape. I mean, just, we have attorney fees. It's been over, since he's been in office, $2.5 million. They're gonna go up. We got lawsuits that need to be settled. Until, we gotta get on the right track here. We can't keep going backwards. Got a courthouse we can't even move into, halfway. We have no idea when we're gonna be able to move in that courthouse. Now more than ever, Aransas County needs positive leadership, and I'm the person that can do that. Thank you.
Hey, Carl, is there a rebuttal with this? Nope.
There's just the one response, but we have another question for you. This question is for Ray Garza. Single audit findings can jeopardize eligibility for federal grants. In 2023 and 2024, auditors cited the county for 2 findings and inaccurate reporting, making it, for 2 findings. 1, inaccurate reporting, making it less likely to detect fraud, and lack of controls over cash totaling $4.5 million in restricted grant funds used for the courthouse. Please explain.
So, we have a treasurer's office that keeps us straight. We have an auditor's office that keeps us straight. Where you're talking about an audit from the third-party auditor, and there were some findings of, I wouldn't say misplacement, we were taking their direction. So apparently they don't like to see zeros or negatives, because the account that the courthouse is being built of, that was in the negative. So we were taking money from positive accounts and putting in a negative account. Money wasn't missing, money wasn't taken. This is what the third-party auditors requested. This is what they wanted done. As soon as that audit was complete, the money was moved back. And I didn't feel comfortable doing that, and that's why at this last budget season, I brought before the court to borrow money, so that we're not to borrow money with the tax notes. We took out $6 million to finish that courthouse.
Thank you.
Okay, if we're talking, the funds were taken from the Waterway Restoration Fund, which was a federal grant and donations from the people for Cedar Bayou. There was roughly $5 million and something taken out of that, transferred to the courthouse fund, to the general fund. I don't really know which one, but what scares me, there's not a resolution on how we're going to pay that back. I'm assuming if I ask Ray, he's going to say we're going to win one of these lawsuits we're in. There's no guarantee. That's gambling with your taxpayers' money.
Okay, the next question is for Russell Cole. Russell, The state of Texas uses tax increment reinvestment zones as a tool to attract employers and businesses. If elected, would you be willing to work with the city of Rockport by serving on the TERS board to help with funding the infrastructure and improve downtown Rockport?
When I'm elected county judge, I will be 100% for that TERS. Just like Scott said, it has to be done right. But, you know, we need to build our tax base. We need to build our tax base. We need positive growth. And that is one tool we can get, you know, to do the downtown project, but it's also gonna help the area around with drainage and, you know, roads. So yes, I'm for a TERS, and I'm for anything, any kind of development that is positive. And we also need to work with the EDC, Economic Development Council. You know, we got plenty of opportunities. We got waterways out there. We got plenty of land. If we work with the EDC, we can bring in positive growth.
We do need to build our tax base. We do need to grow that tax base, but not on the backs of the hardworking people in Aransas County that pay taxes. So I was the only person in Aransas County that voted no on the TERS. I didn't vote because I'm against development. I voted because I'm not going to vote on something that I don't completely understand, and I'm sorry about that. In fact, we don't have an agreement right now because there's a lot of questions that are being asked. The court, we voted to participate in the TERS, but we don't have an agreement with the city. We're still working on that, and the commissioners are asking a lot of questions.
Thank you. The next question is for Ray Garza. Ray, what are you doing to actively promote our county for industry, clean industry, or businesses?
I'm working with the EDC, I'm working with Jeff, I'm working with anybody who talks to me. And the one thing I do want to stress is that our quality of life. Tourism is one of our biggest industries, and I believe that the county's responsibility is maintaining our pathways project, because that will draw tourists here. And we've got a new pathways board. We've got a new person working, the pathways coordinator, doing a fantastic job. I also want to work with the city. You know, they got that new bureau, visitor bureau. I want to fund them to help promote the city, because tourism is our biggest industry. But yeah, anybody, I have meetings every day about people wanting to come, and if I don't want smokestacks, and I believe I want what y'all want. So if y'all have ideas, give me a call. You got my cell number. It's always open.
Thank you.
EDC, very important. I agree with Ray. We don't want smokestacks. But like I said, positive growth. You know, the downtown anchor project, that's positive growth. You know, we got an intercoastal waterway that runs from Florida down to the valley. You know, we got property, we could utilize that. We need to hook up with the Port of Corpus Christi. They're growing. Let's work with them. Let's
One more question for these candidates. This is the last question. It's directed to Ray Garza. Ray, we currently have a 2-story courthouse that costs more than the original bid and is too small for all the offices and courtrooms in one location. You ran your first campaign on transparency and financial responsibility. So what is the cost to county taxpayers to rent space to accommodate the loss of almost 13,000 square feet of space that your supporters petitioned against the $24 million bonds to rebuild the courthouse we lost?
So that courthouse, when they signed the dotted lines, it was $1 million over budget on day one. Yeah, we have They rushed it. It was rushed. You know, we don't have an aquarium right now because we are uber planning. We are planning the heck out of that aquarium. It's only 4,000 square feet. That courthouse went from 3-story to 2-story in a matter of months and into construction. So that is, I think that's a mistake of who was in charge at the time. But yeah, we're good. Those courtrooms, it's a courthouse. Those courtrooms are too small. The biggest courtroom we've got holds 50 people. And it was just bad design. Like I said, that was designed before I took office. Someone signed off on it. Still haven't had an answer who signed off on it, but it wasn't me. Bad design, so we're gonna have to utilize that district court that we have now to hold Verdire and possibly hold district court. And
Here we go with excuses and blaming somebody else. Ray Gars has been in office 3 years and 36 days. The courthouse program of April of 2022, he took office January 2023. He even said in the paper, quoted in the paper saying, I didn't know the plans weren't complete. He is the CEO, CFO of the county. The first thing that should have been done was, look at those plans. Let's see what we got to do. Let's see what we got to change. He took office.
Okay. That wraps up our questions. Now we're going to hear the closing statements from our county judge candidates.
Who goes first?
Russell goes first on that.
Okay, now more than ever, Aransas County needs a strong, competent leader. I have the background, experience, and the dedication, and I'm ready to prove that to the residents of Aransas County. Look for my name at the top of the ballot because Aransas County deserves to be first, not last. I'd appreciate your vote March 3rd.
all right, you know me and you know how I lead. I'm not loud. I'm not flashy. Just steady, practical. And I work focused on what matters most. Like I said, we get county government back to the basics, and we did. We brought fiscal discipline, tax relief, and improvement to roads and drainage, strong support for law enforcement, first responders, and a renewed focus on protecting your property and your natural environment. Just as important, we changed how county government operates. We opened the doors, we brought conversations into the light, we made transparency and steady leadership the standard, not the exception. This election isn't about promises, it's about proven results and leadership style you've already seen. I ask for your vote to continue the work we've started to keep Aransas County moving forward. We certainly don't want to go backwards. Thank you.
That wraps up the event for the night. I wanted to ask everyone, let's give all of our candidates tonight a round of applause. Couple other thank yous. The Chamber for letting us use this fancy timer, which Robert got to operate. I'm kind of jealous of and for the NAB District being so accommodating, getting this room ready tonight for us. Again, I want to thank all the candidates for participating. I know it's difficult to put yourself out there and be asked sometimes some tough questions, so I appreciate everyone's patience. And everyone in the room, thank you for coming, and please recognize your constitutional right to vote. Early voting starts February 17th, and election day is March 3rd. So get out there and vote, get your friends to vote, and think about what everyone said tonight and make your choice. Thank you.